Alright, hello and welcome back. So, we are getting close to being done. Hooray! Okay, so let's have a look. See, we were at the controller. Open that one up. And let me just open up my notes as well. But we have view note. Here we go. Alright. So, first up, when we start, we need to set the dialog to false. And we, of course, haven't actually made that function yet. So let's just quickly make that function. Oh, function. This is not C++. This is C#, method. Method. The olden days be gone. Alright, so we add the buttons to the list of buttons and the text to the list of text. Goody. And then we need specific methods for setting the name of the text box and setting the text of the name box, of the text box and the name box. Then we need another method for setting the sprites that we do right here. Then we need a function for hiding the buttons. So this one will hide all of the different buttons. I'll literally go through each of the buttons and set them to deactivated. And we'll also set the continue button to be not active. And then we will have the set button function right here down. That's a little bigger one. And we probably need, oh yeah, that's because we probably need the continue one here. And we need the reference. The system. What if we do dot system? Well, that don't seem right. What do we need here? What is it? It's hang around. That's dialog condition button. What is that? Dialog buttons. Oh, it's because we haven't made those yet. Alright. So let's just quickly go in there. I was confused for a second. I thought we needed a reference, but of course if you haven't made the dialog button container, well, we're not gonna get really far. But the button container is pretty much just one that contains stuff the button should do. Oh, let's just add the event and in here. Alright, so we just have an action that we can bind to the onClick effect, then the text, and the condition check to check if it is hidden, unclickable, or we can click it, and the state. Alright, so let's return. And we should now see no errors. Hooray! Alright, so let's go through it. So, we have a list of dialog button containers that we set up. That is, again, with our dialog controller talk system that would start this specific action here. So it will put all the buttons in, and we will then go hide buttons. So we will hide all the buttons. Actually, we should probably go through this after we made the other thing. Oh, screw it, I'm gonna go through it now. Alright, so we have, for each of the dialogues we get, well, we're gonna count it and go through each of the buttons. So we have a list of 3 buttons up here. So the buttons we are gonna add we are going to say, well, the button needs a new click event, meaning this is pretty much we're cleaning the current event that the button has. So pretty much like when you have a list and do .clean, it pretty much just resets the button. And then we make it interactable to true, so we can click on it. Then we change the color to, we can click on it. Then we check the condition, and if it is grayed out, well, then we set the, oh yeah, here also, Let me just. I think I did some weird hacking thing. Yeah. So this check here is just to check if it is grayed out. So it could either be condition ready check, so it's a Roger go that it should be added, or it can be grayed out. Yeah, it's not the best solution I did here. Let's just say it's like that. Right, so here we add the number to it, so you can pick it by clicking 1, 2, and 3. That we will do later on, and then we of course add the text to it. And here we will add the button. We will make it so the button is visible, and then we will check if the button is clickable. If it isn't clickable, well, then we will set it to forced interactable. We will disable the color, and this is really weird. To get the button colors, we need to get the colors, then go into colors and find disable color and change the disable color, and then return those colors to the button's colors. Yeah, this is rather weird, but that is how you have to do it with a button if you want to change its color for some reason. Or else we're simply just going to add on click on a click add listener, and we're gonna add the listener event. So uh, to get inside this scope here, it either needs to be able to click or needs to be grayed out. Then we add it so it's visible, and if it is not clickable, or if the condition check is not met, that pretty much just means that it is this one here. I could probably set this up better, but it works. So this one pretty much just make it so we can see the button, but it's disabled, and this down here makes it so we can click it and actually use the button as it's supposed to be. And down here we pretty much just clean the onClick event from the continue button. So when we click on the continue button, well, it sets the new one, and we set it to active again. So pretty much just we make sure that the continue button doesn't repeat the last thing it did. I hope that makes sense. Alrighty, so let's just then I think the only thing we need to actually be done is the dialog talk. Let's just go into that one then. So dialog talk, and you know what? I'm just gonna remove everything. Screw it, we just gotta copy paste everything over because laziness. We're gonna copy this over. Alright, so we have the dialog controller. Of course, yeah, alright, can't find the method yet, that's fine. So we have the dialog controller that we have a reference to. We have the audio source that is on the character, so of course gonna get that. And the dialog controller is also on the character. What is the dialog controller actually? Oh yeah, that's the one that keeps track of the buttons. How can I forget so fast? Then we have our current dialog node, and we have our last dialog node, or dialog data, but the last, that means we can go one back. But I actually think it removes that function, so don't think about that. Then we have the dialog data underscore base node, and that is when we go into one of the bigger dialogues here, it will load that in as a list, and then it will check which one it has come to with the use of the index here. So current index, it will use that to check where we are here. Again, how you load in the data, I kind of want to leave up to you, because depending on your game, you might want to load it in really different. But this is just a way to do it. So let me just copy. Oh, it's actually quite a lot. Let's just copy all this data over. I think it's better just to copy paste all of it over at once. Let's roll to the top. Oh, why are you angry? Oh, you don't exist anymore. Be gone! sorry about that. The dialogue. All right. So when we start the dialogue, we of course, when we start the dialogue, start dialogue. This is the start dialogue method. It will set the dialogue to be true, and we will check the very first start. Of course, that will go down in here and find the start node. So let's see, start node. Well, start node pretty much just go in and gets the next node in the line. I've gone, of course, the get next node that is in here from dialog get data. We did a long time ago, but pretty much just go in and find the first one, find the one that is connected to. So let's see, what happens if we then run into a branch node? Well, then we do a check branch condition here. We will then go through for each of the conditions, and we will do a condition check. We will literally go if the dialog instant dot dialog condition event, and then we will throw all the event data into it. So if this is not true, well, then we will set it to false. Then we will break the for each loop, and then go down here, and well, of course, the branch is false, so it will either load the true or the false, depending on if it is true or false afterwards. And then simply just take the next node in the line. Then we have the event node. The event node pretty much just go, var. We don't like vars. What is this? This is God damn it, I can't remember now. Wait, is it a list? No, This is going well. There we go. This one down here is. Wait, can I just do like this? Haha! Alright, so it will just go through each of the dialog OS, the dialog scriptable objects. If it's not normal, then run the event. Here we will generally just go through and say game event.instant dialog modifier and just do this stuff. And next up, when it's done, well, it will find the next event in the list. So that's pretty easy. And then we have the end node. Well, end node. It will, if it is end, well, it will simply just hide the dialog. If it is repeat, well, it will simply just run the last current dialog data event. And if it's return to start, well, it'll just return to the start node. That's also pretty simple. And then we have our dialog. Oh, now we get to the good stuff. Alright, so dialog. Dialog will set the current dialog to, dialog. And then we will load all of our base containers into the base containers and then add them into the range. And that one is this one up in the top. Alright, and then we set the current index to be 0. And then we will sort them after ID, as we did in the other scripts. And then we will call the dialog to do, where it will first go in and hide all the buttons to make sure that whatever we are getting now is the next thing in the list. So it will go through each of them, and for each time it goes through, it will set the current index to +1. So let's see, base controller. So if it is a name, we will get the name. Of course, we will cast it to be the dialog data name, and then we will simply just call the dialog controller set name, set the name of it. Down here, if it is images, well, we will simply just set the images. Set images. As you can see, in theory, those here will actually not load the next. Actually, we should probably have buttons in here. Nah, screw it. Alright, so here we load the text. We find the text 1. Then we go dialog controller set text, where we simply just set the the language text here. We'll also load in the buttons, and then we will actually play. So this is just down here where we go in and find the right audio clip. Then if there's already audio clip running, well, we stop it. Then we load in the new clip, and then we start playing that clip. And I think they should be like this instead. And then we go into buttons. So the buttons pretty much check up the current index. So if current index equals base container dot count and current index dot data load dot port equals 0. The other one checks up if we have hit the last dialog text in the row. If it have, well, then it will show the continue button. Yeah. So we will make a dialog event here and go dialog event, check node, get next node, current dialog node. So that's because when we hit the continue one, oh wait, that doesn't. Oh yeah, that's when we are at the end. So that means when we hit the last dialog text, it will run this one. Let's just go back into the code. So it will just load the next one. However, if that's not the case, well, then it will simply just set continue. What is continue? Let's just go have a look. Alright, so set continue is where we add the button to list. Ooh. Oh, we set it to do dialog. Alright, so it will pretty much stop at text. So if you get down to text, it will stop and wait, and then if we have the do text again, it will then continue from where we left off in the indexes. Alright. I just have to remember what I did so long ago. Sorry about that. Alright, so then we have the middle part here, which is all the buttons. So we will make a list of buttons, and then we will go through each port. For each port, we will then add a button. We will do choice check. We'll go down to choice check here, where we take in the gun ID. Oh yeah, that's where they are connected to. So that's the port, yes. And we return the list so we can add it at the end. So we find the base. Good. We find the choice. And get node by choice. Choice node. Yeah, so we get the right choice node. Then we find the button, so we can add all the functions to it. But first we check the branch to make sure that all the conditions we set on the choice. So over here, for example, I said that you need to have at least 100 money before this one is viable. So we can go in, and then it will check if this is true or false. As you can see here, the condition check will then be for true or false. That is what that is for. Alright. And then we will add the action here. Just load the next text in the choice. So it pretty much means that we will load the choice text field, and then it will continue on. So when you get to this part here and say what's up, you will have 3 buttons, and when you click that button, it will just continue from the output and continue forward. Hope that makes sense. And here we have we just set the choice to the choice condition, we set the text, we set the action and the condition, and then we add that to the list. So let's return to the list. So when the list is set, we will then go down into the set buttons and go into buttons, and this is where it sets the buttons, load in all the buttons. Alright. Was that it? That was it. I probably jumped over something. At least it felt like I might have. sorry if I did that. Also, I went through this a little fast because this specific part of the code is not important for the dialog graph part. So I actually wanted to stop with the dialog graph part, but I was following a tutorial in the beginning that just show you how to do the dialog graph part, but never how to actually load the data out, which is actually the main reason why I made this entire series. So, I didn't want to do what that other guy did, pretty much. That is pretty much the main reason. Alright, so let's see. Have we actually set it up? All the stuff here. So we need our new dialog event. This one here, right then. We have the language control. Set that to English. Is that actually it? Would this work now? Talk zone. So let's drag in our stuff here and try and press play. Whoa, that's, oh, I forgot to set the walk speed. Alright, so no string event was found. Well, that's not good. Let's see, where is that error? Did ask for help. Oh, yeah. So let's just go out. Stoop. Stoop. That's just because that I am stupid. There we go. Save. Oh yeah, this needs to be lowercase all the way through. Talk. There we go. And the reason why we use to dot to lower is just to make sure that if someone gets a bright idea of writing it with big here, it will not be a problem. Alright, so let's check. Go over and say, hey mate. And it seems it loaded the right images in, so if we go in and click continue. Good to see you. Well, that's good. So now it should run the event that we did talk. So let's just click the player. Where do we have player? And it should be set to true now. It did, but you are trying to create a mono behavior with the keyword new. Where? Oh, alright, so this one should not be a mono behavior, so that's nice to know. Alright, so we jumped over here, and for some reason, the hell? It for some reason shows this one here. It should pretty much only show this one up here. So something went wrong. I don't know if that has something to do with the mono behavior. So let's just go in here and do this. And let's have a look see again. Oh. Well, something definitely went wrong here. Well, so the top button became this one here. Interesting. So we can go in down here. Let's say anything else. We just go male, I don't think so. And the female goes, well, alright, something definitely went completely wrong here. As this one is now, it's actually this button here. This button here doesn't load anything in. So if we click the third option, it should give us money. So let's just get a lot of money. And we say, can we say buy? And we click again. Wait, didn't it start from the beginning? Wait. Oh, yeah. So let's just start. As you can see now, because we have already talked with it, it jumps over this specific and just jumps right straight into this one here, where we can choose between those three here. But something ran completely wrong with the buttons here. I don't know if that has something to do with where do we have the controller? Maybe the text for them is wrong. So if I go this, and oh no, this. Let's try that and see if that fixed it. If it's just me who are dragging them in incorrectly. Yeah, alright, so it's me dragging them wrong. As you can see now, yeah, so just me who dragged the text fields in wrong. I'm sorry about that. So if you click this one, because it's repeatable, it just jumps back to this one. We can click and we can then ask it to start over. But because the did we talk is already true, it instantly jumps over this part here and goes to this part here, where we can then now pay. As you can see the money up here, we can now pay them. Oh, I think I clicked the wrong one. So let's just start over. Let's say pay to color me, and we should lose 100 money. So let's check. We lost 100 money. Beautiful. So let's just start over again and say I like to pay to color you, so we should lose 50 money. And of course, it's also coloring that person. All right. So this seems to be working now as it should. It's not the most beautiful UI, but it works. So now it's pretty much just up to you to make it beautiful. And this naming here is horrible. Let me just name it button text 1. This way it's a lot easier to check if this is actually correct. Let's just copy paste this here. Then go continue button text as well. And you know what? Continue image. This way when we now click we can actually see it says 1, 2, and 3. Alright. So you should probably have named those in the beginning, but hey ho, everyone makes mistakes, right? Right, so this actually seems to be working completely as we want it now. Was there anything else I wanted to change? I don't think so, actually. I think this is it. We did it. Oh, yeah. There's one more thing, and let's look at the time. That's fine. We're not that much over what we're supposed to be. That was the choice buttons. Yes. Let's make it so you can actually use the buttons on your keyboard to pick what to click. So we are going to do this here. And go, we need the reference. Alright, so what are we doing here? Well, we are making a reference to button 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and just pretty much invoking its click value in it. We're telling it needs to be activated before we can click it. Plus, yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, and then we have it so we can change the button clicks out in the open. Let's actually also do the continue button, pretty much the same. Saved. Come on. There we go. And load in the save part. Alright, so again, remember to add the reference for buttons UI. We have the button, we have which key, we make sure that it is active, and we click the key, and then we will simply just invoke the onClick event. So we can click save. We can go in here, and I'm actually not entirely sure where I have thrown those click events. So let's just throw it on the controller here, might as well. Button clicks, the new button. So we just need the continue button. And we need button 1, button 2, and button 3. Alright, so now we can actually use a keyboard. And before we actually start, let me just fix the player speed, because that's rather irritating. Right, yes, we open up, and now we can tell me space, space, and I can now click one, space, 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 and nothing happens when I click space here, so that's nice. So we can go color us and give us a lot of money. And then we say start over, and you see it just instantly jumps from this part here over to here, because player is set to do we already talked. So if I click this way and we start over, you can now see it goes down here, and we then are over here now. We can color it and keep color and stuff. Yeah, I think this is it. And of course, I will be uploading this to GitHub again. And um, yeah, I will probably make one more video just called final. But this is pretty much it. I will try to see if I can find any errors in it. But then I guess this is it. We did it. Alrighty. No, so thank you for watching.